When trust turns to ashes, a tragedy of friendship. It was in the sprawling city of Makurdi, a bustling hub where the Benue River's waters shimmered like liquid diamonds under the fiery Nigerian sun, that two little girls first crossed paths. Tanadu and Ahimen lived in homes separated by a vast open field. This field was neither remarkable nor grand. It was a plain stretch of dry, red earth dotted with sparse tufts of stubborn grass. Yet, it would soon become the birthplace of a friendship as timeless as the river itself. Tanadu was a quiet soul, the kind of child who preferred the company of birds and the rustling leaves to the chatter of her peers. She had the gift of observation. She noticed things others overlooked, the gentle sway of the guinea corn in the evening breeze or the shy bloom of wildflowers after a rain. Ahimen, on the other hand, was a whirlwind. Her laughter rang out like a bell, and her feet seemed to dance wherever she went. She was the leader of every childhood adventure, her energy drawing others like moths to a flame. The two girls might never have crossed paths, for their worlds were as different as the rising sun and the lingering moon. But one fateful evening, the moon rose high and round, casting a silver glow over Makurdi. The village was alive with the rhythms of the night, drumming, singing, and laughter from a community feast. But Tanadu, true to her nature, had slipped away from the festivities, seeking solitude under the shade of an old baobab tree that stood in the field. There, she sat cradling a small, injured dove she had found earlier in the day. She whispered softly to the bird, her voice carrying the soothing melodies of an old Tiv lullaby. She didn't notice Ahimen watching her from the shadows. The spirited girl had wandered away from the crowd, curious about the sound of the lullaby. She crouched silently, captivated by the sight of Tanadu's gentle hands and the injured dove's trust. "Why are you sitting here all alone?" Ahimen finally asked, stepping into the moonlight. Startled, Tanadu looked up, clutching the dove protectively. "It's injured," she replied cautiously. "I'm trying to help it heal." Ahimen's eyes sparkled with curiosity. "Can I help?" she asked, plopping down beside her without waiting for an answer. Tanadu hesitated but nodded. Together, they fashioned a tiny splint for the dove's wing using a twig and a strip of cloth torn from Ahimen's scarf. Ahimen hummed a tune as they walked, and soon, Tanadu found herself smiling, a rare sight for the quiet girl. The dove, as if sensing the warmth between the two, cooed softly before drifting into sleep. From that night on, the field became their sanctuary. They met every evening under the baobab tree, weaving stories from their imaginations. Tanadu taught Ahimen how to listen to the whispers of nature, and Ahimen showed Tanadu the joy of laughter and adventure. They explored the riverbanks, made dolls from corn husks, and crafted songs that blended their distinct voices into one harmonious melody. As days turned into months, their bond deepened. Tanadu's calm wisdom complemented Ahimen's fiery determination. They became a force of nature, inseparable and unshakable. Though they were still very young, they both had big dreams. When Ahimen dreamed of becoming a fashion designer and owning the biggest fashion store in Makurdi, Tanadu encouraged her. "You would make the most beautiful dresses Makurdi town would ever see," Tanadu saying with pride. When Tanadu spoke of opening a law firm and becoming a lawyer, Ahimen promised to help her build it, brick by brick. "You will send all the bad people in Makurdi to jail," Ahimen teased, both laughing and giving themselves high fives. Their families often marveled at their friendship. "It's as if the moon itself blessed them that night," their fathers would say, recalling the evening they first met. And perhaps it was true, for their bond seemed to shine even in the darkest times, a guiding light for all who knew them. Tanadu and Ahimen were as inseparable as the confluence of rivers. Both born into families that shared similar roots in the heart of Tivland, they quickly formed a friendship so deep it seemed etched in the stars. Tanadu's laughter was like the soft hum of bees on a sunny day, infectious and warm, while Ahimen's gentle demeanor often resembled the calm after a heavy rainstorm. Together, they were yin and yang, their differences blending seamlessly into a perfect harmony. The girls spent their childhood chasing butterflies in the lush fields, braiding each other's hair under ancient baobab trees, and sharing bowls of pounded yam with ashri soup, their favorite meal. "We will be best friends forever, no matter what," Tanadu once declared, her voice carrying the kind of conviction only a child could muster. Ahima nodded, her small hand tightly gripping Tanadu's. Their bond seemed unbreakable, but as the thief proverb goes, when the wind blows, the chicken's nakedness will be revealed. Years turned, and the two friends transitioned from carefree childhood to ambitious adolescence. Both girls excelled in school, their dreams taking root like yams planted in fertile soil. Tanadu wanted to become a lawyer and fight for the voiceless, while Ahiman dreamed of opening a chain of boutiques, her love for fashion as vibrant as her laughter. The girls' families, though not wealthy, invested heavily in their education. When they gained admission to the prestigious Benue State University, their joy knew no bounds. Together, they navigated the labyrinthine campus, their bond a compass guiding them through late-night study sessions, youth fellowship meetings, and the occasional parties under Makodi's neon skyline. But as they climbed higher in life, the seeds of envy and competition began to sprout in the shadows of their friendship. After graduation, Ahiman's boutique dream came to life. With financial help from her father and a knack for sourcing rare fabrics from Jos and Lagos, she opened her first store, Ahiman's Haven. Her designs were hit, attracting socialites and celebrities. Soon, she was a household name in Makodi's fashion scene. Tanadu, meanwhile, struggled to find footing in the overcrowded legal profession. Her small law firm barely broke even, and her modest office paled in comparison to the glitz of Ahiman's thriving business. Tanadu often reassured herself, success is not a sprint, it's a marathon, but her heart harbored seeds of bitterness. Tanadu's envy was a quiet, simmering fire. Every glowing feature of Ahiman in newspapers felt like a slap, every success a reminder of her own perceived failures. Yet she wore a mask of support, clapping for her friends' victories even as her heart ached. On the flip side, Ahiman began to notice Tanadu's lukewarm enthusiasm. She wondered if her friend resented her success. "Why do I feel like I'm walking on eggshells around her?" Ahiman confided in her younger sister. The flames of jealousy in Tanadu's heart finally erupted into acts of betrayal that would irreparably fracture their friendship. One fateful evening, Tanadu's law firm landed a high-profile divorce case involving Madam Agbis, a wealthy politician's wife and one of Ahiman's most loyal customers. When Tanadu discovered this connection, she saw an opportunity to undermine Ahiman. With a serpent's tongue, she whispered lies to Madam Agbis, insinuating that Ahiman gossiped about her high-profile clients. "I overheard Ahiman once say you overpay for your outfits," she said with feigned reluctance. Madam Agbis, offended, withdrew her patronage, a blow that rippled through Ahiman's reputation. But Tanadu's venom didn't stop there. Her jealousy festered like an open wound, pushing her to commit an even greater betrayal. Ahiman was engaged to Fonan, a wealthy businessman who adored her and supported her ambitions. Their wedding was 2 months away, a much-anticipated event in Makodi's social circles. Tanadu, consumed by envy, orchestrated a wicked scheme to ruin Ahiman's happiness. She concocted a despicable lie, claiming Ahiman was unfaithful. "I saw her with another man at the hotel last weekend," Tanadu told Fonan, her voice trembling with fabricated sincerity. "I didn't want to say anything, but I felt you deserved to know." Fonan, heartbroken and humiliated, confronted Ahiman. His voice was heavy with pain. "How could you betray me like this?" Ahiman, blindsided and confused, denied the allegations, but the seed of doubt had been planted. Unable to reconcile his emotions, Fonan called off the wedding. Ahiman's world crumbled, the man she loved and her dreams of a future together were snatched away. As if that weren't enough, Tanadu's cruelty reached a new low. She hired a group of thugs to steal Ahiman's car, an essential tool for her business. The theft left Ahiman stranded, her mobility and ability to run her boutique severely hampered. Her once thriving empire now felt like a sandcastle collapsing under the weight of rising tides. It wasn't long before Ahiman began to piece together the truth. A mutual acquaintance inadvertently let slip details of Tanadu's schemes. The realization struck like a thunderbolt: her closest friend, the sister of her heart, had been the architect of her misery. The betrayal was a knife to her soul, twisting deeper with every recollection of their shared past. In a confrontation filled with fiery accusations and bitter tears, Ahiman faced Tanadu. "How could you?" she demanded, her voice cracking like dry wood under pressure. "I loved you like a sister, and you destroyed everything I worked for." Tanadu's defense was weak, a patchwork of excuses that failed to mask her jealousy. "You always had everything, Ahiman," she spat, her tone defensive yet tinged with regret. "Your success made me feel invisible." Ahiman's response was laced with sorrow and finality. "You were never invisible to me, Tanadu. But now, you're nothing to me." The friendship that had once been their anchor was severed, its pieces scattered like shards of broken glass. The aftermath of Tanadu's betrayal left scars that time could never fully heal. Ahiman, though resilient, struggled to rebuild her life. Her boutique limped along, her creativity dampened by the weight of heartbreak and loss. She no longer trusted easily, her heart guarded like a fortress. Tanadu, on the other hand, was haunted by guilt. Her victories felt hollow, her envy a poison that had consumed her joy. She tried to convince herself that she had leveled the playing field, but the void left by Ahiman's absence was inescapable. Tanadu's nights became restless, haunted by dreams of her once beloved friend. Memories of their childhood laughter under the baobab trees and their shared secrets clawed at her conscience. The guilt was a weight she could no longer bear. One Sunday morning, after much internal wrestling, Tanadu decided to seek Ahiman's forgiveness. Dressed in a plain Ankara gown, her face devoid of makeup, she walked to Ahiman's heaven. The boutique had lost some of its luster, its formerly vibrant displays muted by Ahiman's fading spirit. Ahiman stood behind the counter, her eyes weary but determined. When she saw Tanadu, her heart skipped a beat. "What are you doing here?" she asked, her tone a mixture of surprise and weariness. Tanadu knelt, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Ahiman, I have wronged you in ways I cannot even begin to justify. I let my jealousy ruin everything. Please, forgive me." The words hung in the air like the distant rumble of thunder. Ahiman's chest tightened, her mind replaying the pain Tanadu had caused. Forgiveness was not easy, but neither was holding on to bitterness. "I forgive you, Tanadu," Ahiman said softly, her voice heavy with emotion. "But things can never go back to the way they were. Trust, once broken, is like a shattered calabash. You can piece it together, but it will never hold water again." Tanadu nodded, her sobs intensifying. "I understand. Thank you for forgiving me. That's more than I deserve." Ahiman, though still healing, focuses on rebuilding her life and business. She learns to channel her pain into her craft, creating designs inspired by her resilience. Her journey becomes a testament to the thief proverb, "God is near to those who persevere." Tanadu, racked with guilt, tries to atone for her actions in small but meaningful ways. She donates to charities, supports young women in business, and uses her legal skills to fight for the underprivileged communities, organizes local charities and offers free legal services to small business owners, many of whom remind her of Ahiman's determination and entrepreneurial spirit. Her attempts at redemption bring her some peace, but the shadow of her betrayal lingers, a constant reminder of the friendship she had destroyed. As the years roll by, Ahiman's boutique, now renamed Ahiman's Resilience Haven, blossoms into a symbol of triumph over adversity. Each design she creates carries a story of perseverance and strength, resonating deeply with her customers. Slowly, She rebuilt her confidence, her laughter returning in softer tones but with the same infectious warmth. Tanadu, on the other hand, finds solace in helping others rebuild their lives. She becomes an advocate for women's empowerment in Makurdi, offering free workshops on business law and teaching young women how to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship. Though she no longer shares the unbreakable bond she once had with Ahiman, she dedicates her work to making the lives of others better, a way of paying homage to the friendship that once inspired her. Years later, at a community event celebrating local entrepreneurs, Tanadu and Ahiman cross paths again. The encounter is brief, a simple exchange of smiles from across the room, but it is enough. In that moment, both women realize that while their friendship may never be what it once was, the lessons they learn from each other continue to shape their lives. From that day onward, their interactions remain limited to polite greetings when they cross paths, a far cry from the bond they once shared. Both women learn invaluable lessons, that jealousy and betrayal destroy even the strongest friendships, and that forgiveness does not always mean reconciliation. Ahiman, sitting quietly in her fashion store lost in thoughts of their childhood, thinks of Tanadu with a mix of sorrow and acceptance, a reminder of the fragility of trust, the dangers of envy, the destructive nature of jealousy, and the enduring power of forgiveness. We were like two rivers that once flowed together, but life has carved separate paths for us. And that's okay. Please comment in the comment section on the lessons you learned from this story. If you enjoyed this story, please hit the like button and share it to your family and friends, and subscribe to my channel. See you in my next video. Bye.